Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in South Florida, it's time for South Florida Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of South Florida Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. Today on the show, we have Giselle Mascarenhas with Latina Empire. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I'm excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us a little bit about Latina Empire. How are you serving folks?
Oh, gosh. I love what we're doing. Our founder, who you just told me was on your show recently, she is a multi-millionaire at 35 who has a heart of gold. She knows what Latina Empire is what she knows to be true in the fundamental of growing personally and professionally, which is healing your heart first so that you can be clear to challenge your mind. You got to get out of your comfort zone so that you can be unapologetic about making money. It's a process. We all show up to life with limitations that we've got to, on an ongoing basis, through accountability, through community, through nurturing, through coaching, need to be released. We need to be tapping into our heart to release those limitations so that we can grow to be who we're meant to be and impact those that we serve.
So why was it important to just create this community for Latinas? What kind of drew you to just that crowd or to start that crowd?
That is such a great question because one, I want to clarify that yes, it is called Latina Empire because the women behind creating this and the reason is because we are Latinas, because we are at the end of the day, women, sometimes, we're marginalized as Latina women. That happens a little more often as colored women, so it was more of we can as a community together. There is nothing we can't do together if we champion each other. But this is not just for Latinas. This is Latina Empire because we are a group of Latinas who built this with the vision of our founder, Perla Tamez. But we truly are for all women who are ready to grow personally and professionally and know that they need help in doing that.
Now, can you explain to the listener what how do they benefit by becoming part of this community? What are some of the things that are maybe tangible in terms of, okay, you get these benefits and intangible in terms of, hey, you know what, you got a lot of people watching your back or holding you accountable or helping you get to a new level?
Well, let me be real clear on we fill a void that exists in the life coaching market and in the women empowerment market. In the life coaching market, it is not accessible to everyone. Life coaching can start at about $150 an hour, $200, $250, and go up from there, right? It's not that these coaches they don't deserve that or they're not of value, but honestly, we all need life coaching. We all need to be coached to live in our purpose. But half the time, 99.9% of the time, and I made this up myself, the 99.9%, but a lot of the time, we as women, as humans, we don't even understand what our limitations are. And we don't even understand how to answer the question, who are we? Who am I? Ask yourself that. And so what we do is we make life coaching accessible. So our membership starts at $47, and it is we build this community through the virtual it's called a Mana Lounge, but we nurture in our empires cocktails every month so we can come together and we can collaborate and connect. And we also then have programs in every single one of our empires, which has to do with the proprietary process of healing your heart, which is our clarity program, our crystal program, challenging the mind, which happens to be, okay, you know who you are now because you've gone through these programs. You have the community to push you. You have the coaches to push you there at an accessible rate, right? At a price that most people can afford. Now you need to start investing in yourself to push yourself outside of the limits that you put on yourself, because now you know where you want to go. And then it just goes on from there, because we truly believe that success is defined by the individual. I think you would agree with that, right? Like, my success is not your success. My success is not your wife's success. Like, We all are defined very differently. But if we don't know what success, like what we're striving for, we're never going to get there. And that's what we help you do. We help you do it with like in an accessible way. In the women empowerment space, the thing is you go to these events and super awesome and you're pumped up and then you leave and then what? Where's the accountability? Who is going to be pushing you outside your comfort zone? What are the programs and the resources available so that you can keep implementing what you learned or that feeling that you had when you were around that community? So we're really working hard. And honestly, we are a startup and we are going to do everything we can by listening to our members on pivoting and changing to meet our promise to help them develop personally and professionally.
Now, you mentioned there's some in person, there's some virtual.
Yeah.
I know you're in quite a few markets right now in the United States. Is the dream to become like have hyper-local chapters around the country? Is that how you see this evolving?
Absolutely. Actually, globally. So we launch Mexico next year, and then at the end of that year, and this is with our projections, meeting our projections, we launch Europe by the end of next year. Yeah, and so that is our focus. We want to have empires where we're developing our leaders so that they can serve the members at that capacity, like giving them the resources, giving them the accountability, and us helping in doing that by focusing on one leader who's focusing on building that empire in hyper-focused areas like Miami. Like we're going to be in Miami on Saturday.
And then when someone goes to the event on Saturday, what can they expect?
Okay, so our program on Saturday is called Clarity. This is where they can expect to truly dig in deep with our executive coach, Alexa, who is going to be helping people answer that question that we started the show off with. Like, who are you? Like, who am I? What am I meant to be doing here? Like, what fills my soul? And how can I actually make money from who I am fundamentally and how I want to impact the world? Like, you've got to get really, really granular into that so that you are living your purpose and you are living a life that you feel like you're thriving in. That's what they're going to be doing on Saturday.
Now, is the community primarily made up of people that have a dream, maybe aspirationally would like to be an entrepreneur and like to build an empire? Or is it already people that have already achieved a certain level of success or maybe frustrated or plateaued and need help getting to a new level? Is it a combination?
This is such a great question because it's the latter. It's a combination. Honestly, it's anyone seeking for more. They have this pull in their heart, in their chest that they know like there's more than this. And it could be personally, like I know of people who are billionaires who don't feel complete. And it has nothing to do with money. It literally has everything to do. The success that we achieve and the abundance that we feel starts in our mind. Like it starts on how we perceive the world. It starts in how we're impacting the people around us. So it definitely is people seeking. It's really so varied on the demographic of who that woman is. It really is that woman what they share that common thread of they're seeking to know who they are. They're seeking for more. They're seeking to be like to create a legacy. That is the woman that we attract.
Now, are you finding that, especially coming out of the pandemic nowadays, that there are more and more people that are just tired of waiting and they want to lead that purpose-driven life, and they're not waiting for someone's permission anymore. They're not waiting for an opportunity. They say, I am going to make my own opportunity.
Yes. That has been something that has been developing slowly because people have been questioning, why are we so polarized? Why does it feel so dark? Like, why is everything so difficult? But truly, it's a mindset that is like, it's feeding our brains depending on what we're clicking on social media. It's feeding our brains depending on what news channel you're watching, right? And we're tired of it. We know that life is what we make of it. But the question of how How do we live a purpose-driven life is what we want to help people attain. We want to help them get to that answer.
And it is a dream that can come true. This doesn't have to be an impossible dream.
It honestly is a choice. Choose to be fighting like heck to live a purpose-driven life. And it's okay. Give yourself grace to know that you aren't supposed to know until you know. It's really that simple. But it takes a lot of work on your part to change your mindset, to work every day like, hey, wait, where is this coming from? Is this the reality? I feel this way, but wait, is this just because it's a habit? Can I choose to see a different perspective? Can I see this instead of as a failure, as a lesson so that I can be more, be better, impact others with this story? It really is a mindset of choosing to put you first because you are worthy, exactly who you are and where you find yourself today.
Now, in your background, you spent a lot of time in and around personal branding. Do you have any advice for the listener right now that's maybe just kind of kicking the tires of Latina Empire, maybe not ready to go all the way in, but just some piece of advice that's maybe actionable right this second, what they can be doing today that can help them get a clearer view of their personal brand and how to kind of live their best life?
One, I believe that you need to start to have a morning routine of sitting still and every day asking your question like yesterday, what gave me joy? What felt really good? Sometimes it could be a phone call that you received that made you smile. Okay, dig in. Why? Why did it make you smile? Why did you hang up the phone and feel good about yourself or felt like you created something? Did you create a connection? Did you help them with a nice word? Did they see you for you, like who you really are? And that doesn't happen very often. Like start to dig in deep with what makes you come alive. What makes your heart really, really full and chubby? Like what gives you joy? And start to write those things down every single morning. Why? Because it's going to start opening up your world for more of it. 1, 2, you're going to start working towards having more of that in your life. 3, you're going to start really opening up to receive more resources, more friends, more opportunity that has more to do with who you are fundamentally instead of who you've been creating yourself to be that isn't aligned with your values. That's where I think that people should start, and that you're going to see a difference in freaking the first day, but you're going to see a difference really fast.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you get clear on your true north, then decisions become a lot easier because it's either helping you get there or it's not. And it becomes pretty binary.
You're absolutely right. If people would just stop for a second every time they feel great or horrible and ask themselves, wait, why? Why do I feel great? Why do I feel horrible? And maybe sometimes the answer is going to be like, do I really need to have that person in my life? Do I really need to be doing this? Do I really need to be saying yes to going to volunteer and do this when it's not even filling my soul? It's not something that I'm passionate about. Like, it's okay to give yourself grace to stop and really figure out what makes you thrive. If you are living in a space that you are proud of, that you feel like you're doing good, that you come alive in, you are impacting the lives around you just with being you.
So if somebody wants to plug into the Latina Empire, maybe get involved with this event on Saturday in South Florida, and or just learn more about the opportunity and seeing all that it has to offer, what's the website or the best way to get connected?
Absolutely. I'm going to make it super easy. The Latina Empire across all social medias and the website. That's where you can find us. And if you want to find me and ask me anything, I am an open book and I am absolutely approachable. It's the Latina Empire COO.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing such important work and we appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for this time. Thank you for allowing me to share what we're doing with the world. I appreciate you.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on South Florida Business Radio.